Chuke's 10 millimeter extravaganza. Welcome to Chuke's 10 millimeter extravaganza, and I've recently shown Chuck, introduced him to my new intro, and he's a fan. Chuke's 10 millimeter extravaganza. And see, every time I do that, he likes it. So, welcome.
Greetings, folks. Welcome to Chuke's 10 millimeter extravaganza, a new series where I showcase all things 10 millimeter. And today I have a special treat for you. I finally got my hands on a Tanfoglio, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, elite, not an elite match. I'll talk about that. That's what I had. A Steel Witness compact in 10 millimeter. Now this thing is cleared, and boy is it hard to pull back, but very interesting gun. And I do want to say that I had an elite match. 10 millimeters is by EAA. They import it for Tangfoglio. I had an elite match years ago, and I wish I never would have parted with it. It was very similar to this, except it had a different color slide. It was full size, and I never had a problem with that thing. Just amazing. And it's pretty confusing. They have so many models that they're coming out with. They've still got the elite match, but now they've got other newer models of race guns in 10 millimeter that they're offering. It's hard to keep up with. They've got so many different versions of the Witness and different elite race guns in 10 millimeter. It's exciting, but it's also very confusing. I like the elite match a lot more than this, mainly because of the trigger, and it just seemed to function better. But I am pretty excited about this. Now, the whole idea of these Witness steel guns, I will say I'm not interested in the polymer Witness 10 millimeter. I think it's kind of lame. Why would you have this CZ style with a polymer lower? Just doesn't appeal to me. So I really wanted the steel Witness, and surprisingly, I wasn't going to get it in compact, but this came up. First of all, you can't find one of these right now. They're sold out on all the major distributor websites. I was going to order one on Gunbroker, but I happened to find a used one in town here, so I picked this up. Now, this is supposed to be based off a CZ75. It's not a clone. It's kind of like a variant copy of a CZ75 because there are some differences. But just looking at it, you can see that they tried very hard to mimic a CZ75. But it's so cool because it's in 10 millimeter. Now, I had the elite match and I had no problem, so I was really excited to go shoot this thing. And there are some pros and cons with this gun, and we'll talk about that. But first of all, I was very disappointed when I went to shoot it because it was just jamming like every shot. It turns out
all the way.
Yep.
I was wondering if it might beat a little better as there are a few rounds in it.
Yep.
But no.
Lame. Let me try the other mag. That's crazy. Out long windy road, and I went out to shoot when it was 3 degrees out, and with the wind chill it was below 0, and it did something to the magazine springs, I think, because I went out later with Chuck and we couldn't get it to malfunction. It was just 30 degrees warmer. Still wintertime here in Alaska, but it was functioning fine, and it wasn't doing that weird thing where it wouldn't even put a round in the chamber. We were also using a little bit hotter rounds, so I would suggest using actual 10 millimeter loads, not a lot of this range ammo. It is the power of a 40 Smith & Wesson. So I was going to get rid of it, but after, taking it out a couple times and shooting it with no problems, now I'm very happy with it again. That was just a weird thing. So just so you know, this, at least in this steel compact package, you can't shoot it at 5 below 0 because it's not going to work for you. So if that's a consideration, that's what I have found. It's got these plastic grips that are just awful. There are a couple companies, some viewers and people on Instagram showed me that make some replacement grips that I'm looking to getting because these grips don't even feel like polymer. They just feel like a cheap plastic, and they're not that great. Another issue this gun had is right now the mag falls free perfectly. As soon as you fill this mag with ammo, it stops right about here, and you have to rip it out. It will not fall by itself. So that is a disappointment if you want to do a fast reload or something. I absolutely don't like that. Another thing about this gun, it was very confusing. The whole mag issue is very confusing. The guy I got it from said it was, the mags hold 9 rounds. I looked on the paperwork that I got with the gun, and it said this exact model, the compact, steel witness compact, the mags held 10 rounds, and then I look online and it says everything from 11 to 12 rounds. So I ordered an extra mag for it. So I've got one mag that holds 9 rounds and another identical looking mag that holds 11 rounds. And I found with Tangfoglio mags that you usually can't get the exact number in. It's usually one less, but I can only get 9 rounds in this mag, and you literally will not push down to put another one in, but the other mag holds 11 rounds. So there's something wonky. I don't know if it's because they're manufactured in Italy and they're trying to please different countries or wherever they're exporting it to, but something really weird. It's not, the mags are not universal. So I'm definitely going to order a few more mags and just see how many rounds fit in it.
All right, we're going to test the reliability of this EAA all steel witness compact.
Definitely feels like the recoil spring is light. You can kind of feel it go back a little bit. Just shows you Chuke doesn't need to limp wrist.
Yeah.
But it was good 10mm ammo too. It was actual SIG ammo.
I had cheap ammo in it.
You had cheap ammo. It's probably loaded to 40 Smith & Wesson specs.
PPU and S&B.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. PPU on 10mm, just PP.
Right.
Yeah.
PP on the potty.
Yep, pretty much.
All right. I like it now. I'm going to keep it.
There you go.
It's called a compact size, and when I lined it up with my Glock 19, yes, it did roughly fit that shape. Just a millimeter or two shorter barrel, I think, but it feels almost like a subcompact to me, and that's because of the thinness. It's a lot thinner than a Glock. Very comfortable to carry. I will be getting a crossbreed holster for this now that I know it's been reliable for me, and I will be carrying it in the summertime just because I can transition from the city to the woods, and this thing will be fine. So it does have a safety, which I'm not a big fan of, without a decocker. So now this is kind of controversial. I go ahead and, the manufacturer and the paperwork that comes with it will tell you to carry it cocked and locked. If I was a 1911 guy and all I did was carry 1911s and I trained that way, that's what I would do. However, since there is no decocker, and please don't try this at home, I do lower the hammer carefully on a live round so I could use the double action. It's got a double action, single action trigger. I guess the double action is for in case you get a round that doesn't fire, for you to be able to pull the trigger again, because there's no decocker. It's kind of odd. So don't do that at home. Pretty much everybody I know with one of these does that. I've probably done it 1,000 times between this gun and the Elite match and never had a discharge happen. But of course you want to point it in a safe direction when you do that, and please don't do that just because I said to do that. But I don't like carrying cocked and locked. So I carefully set the hammer down, and that way my first pull is a double action pull, and then it's a nice single action pull. I do like the trigger, no major complaints about it, although the Elite match had a trigger that wasn't this round hook shaped, and it was a better trigger. So there are some drop-in triggers you can get for this that I may look into at some point, but it's got this wonder finish. It's kind of like this silvery finish on the steel. I actually really like it. They say it's the same as you want to treat it like a blued gun, so just, you know, keep it clean and keep it oiled. But I like the wonder finish. I think it looks good. It seems to hold up fine. It's got these low profile sights. The front sight is very low profile. It's fixed, and then it's got these low profile rear sights. Nice for carry. You know, you got this bobtail, little skeletonized hammer. Just perfect for carry. Like I said, it's a thin gun. It's almost 2 pounds, so it's pretty heavy. That's a consideration, but the recoil isn't bad for a 10 millimeter. We had a lot of fun shooting it. You know, Chuck thinks it's a pretty cool little gun. We tested some different ammo. We'll have a video out next month about that. But you know, besides the cons, I talked about the cons, which the mags in general, you know, holding different amounts, the mag not falling out when it's full, and then not working in cold weather. I still like it because it's not a 1911. It's almost an updated 1911 because the CZ75, you know, was based on the high power or whatever. So it's like an upgraded 1911. It's hammer fired and it's all steel. So it's a collectible. It's a collector's item because you've got an all steel, and it's a small package, and this compact gun, it's a very small package. So you can get these things for about $600 roughly, and I would suggest, if you can even find one right now, like I said, they're hard to find. I was looking for months, finally found one. But besides those cons, I mean, the pros, if you've got basically a 10 millimeter variant of a CZ75 that's reliable in warm weather and is comfortable to carry. You know, you can handle hot 10 millimeter loads. You know, I shot extreme penetrators and buffalo bore out of this. Pretty cool little gun. I gotta say, I am a fan. Like I said, if you can afford it, get the Elite Match 10 millimeter from Tangfoglio. That's a bit nicer of a gun, but for $600 to get an all steel little 10 millimeter like this, I think you can't go wrong. So let me know what you guys think, if I'm off base with the pros and cons, and if you've had any issues with it too. So thank you for tuning in to Chuke's 10 millimeter extravaganza, and I'll see you guys next time. Please like, share, and subscribe. Help me out on Patreon. Thanks, guys.
My name is Chuke. I like to trade my guns just for fun, but now I have none. Oh, look, get shot by a bear, but I don't care. I got a 10 millimeter. Chuke's Outdoor Adventures. Watch you all die every time.